Time for the pro versus the Joe. Although Justin's results have been un-Joe-like.
That's right.
Alex, of course, winner of multiple last man, woman standings in the past in the Circa Invitational. She is the pro. Justin's leans and likes for week 4. Let's roll through these. NC State against Duke.
So I got it. NC State is at +3 on my app, and I think they're going to win outright. I bet a money line. I don't think Duke is anywhere near where they thought they were going to be. They have not performed well. NC State hasn't been sterling, but each week they've gotten a little bit better from the prior week. They barely beat Ohio in week 1, but they've gotten steadily better. I like their trajectory. I don't like Duke's, and I think there's going to be plenty of NC State fans at the Duke game.
Pro?
I'm not touching this game because I have been one of those bettors that have been backing Duke the last couple weeks. I thought last week was a buy low. 2 weeks ago they got steamrolled by Illinois, even though the box score doesn't really say that. But I made it 2.5. I would lean to taking the points because I know revenge gets thrown out a little bit too much, but there is one scenario that I really like it, and that is when one team goes to the other place and beats them in their stadium, and the other team has a chance for revenge to do that back. That's NC State. They can go to Duke and beat them. Duke won 29-19 last year.
Friday night tilt, Rutgers hosting Iowa, getting 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 on my app. Again, I got a money line bet on this one. I think Rutgers is the better team. I think they're going to win this game outright. I think Iowa is not the Iowa that it's been in the past, meaning they still suck at offense. They've always sucked at offense, but their defense is not what it used to be. Their loss to Iowa State is looking worse after how Iowa State played against Arkansas State. I watched that game because I was at the gym and I was bored, and it was on the TV. Arkansas State outplayed Iowa State in that game and should have won that game. So I don't think that Iowa's got any really quality opponents right now that I've seen. And I think Rutgers, again, I like the trajectory that they're going. They're coming in 3-0. They hasn't been perfect, but each week has gotten steadily better.
I'm with Justin on this one because I made Rutgers a 1-point favorite, so I thought there was some value grabbing 2.5 with Rutgers, and I think they're pretty even. My only concern is Gronowski finally looked good in his last game and finally was throwing the ball, so maybe their offense can get going a little bit, but he had 179 yards, but that was against UMass. So this is a different opponent here against Rutgers.
Total's 45. I'll go under.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that.
And you're on the opposite as us, right? Going up against
But I do that a
your
lot.
alma mater.
But I'm also looking at the series, and they've only played, recently 2 times, and Kirk Ferentz has just coached the pants off of Greg Schiano. Schiano's very conservative, so it plays right into Ferentz's hands. And in this case, they can actually throw the ball, so they should wing it around the yard, but I don't know if he's going to do it. We'll see. Hawaii got good news with the guy who played right up the road from where we are at Battleborn Injury Lures, or Bishop Gorman, and Micah Alihado. He is a full go in practice. Fresno's coming to Hawaii.
Yep.
Rainbow Warriors are 3-1. They survived. They won 2 games. Portland State's no good, but they won with Weaver, the backup. Alijado's going to be back in there. They're getting 2.5 at home.
Getting 2.5 against Fresno State. Fresno State's marquee win right now is against Oregon State in a game with literally 6 muffed kicks and punts. Okay? And they ended up winning by 2 scores, but that was a last-minute pick 6. They barely won that game. When you get that many turnovers, you should blow the other team out. I'm not a believer in Fresno State. I'm a baby believer in Hawaii, and I always get a little baby bump belief when they're playing at home and somebody's got to travel there. So I like Hawaii and I'm getting points. I like it.
Pro?
Yeah, that's why I can't go head-to-head on this one because I've got a no play. I lean to Fresno getting the points. They've got home revenge too, but I'm not that impressed with what I've seen. I also think I might have been a little bit too low on Hawaii to start the season. Haven't really got to upgrade them yet, but now that they have their starting quarterback, this will kind of be the game to tell me.
Pro versus Joe. Justin Watkins against, and he's the Joe, going up against Alex White. I screwed that up. I had it backwards. Okay, a couple more leans and likes from Justin. Auburn at Oklahoma.
So everything in the world tells me that Oklahoma should be the team that everybody picks here, and I find myself believing in Auburn. I rode them out in the first week. They came to me. I don't think Oklahoma is as good as everybody thinks that they are yet. Now, I might be proven wrong in this game if they come out and really put on a display. But I've seen enough of Auburn Tigers to make me think that they getting 6.5. I like that number. I obviously wish it was 7, but 6.5 is a pretty big number. I feel that they're going to keep this close.
I will say last weekend, if you took points with the big SEC matchups, it was pretty profitable. I mean, A&M against Notre Dame, not an SEC. But besides Florida, I mean, Arkansas covered. Who else? There was another big one that did cover too at a number like this. But I'm leaning the other way, so this could be considered our head-to-head, even though I was on Baylor in week 1, so that's kind of a bad idea here. But Jackson Arnold goes back to Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma has their guy in John Mateer. He's been fantastic. I think Brent Venables has the better defense at home. I know Hugh Freeze really wants that revenge and wants to go in there and beat them straight up, but I think Oklahoma can win by a touchdown.
Okay, all right.
Let's fire on this one. Colorado State at home against UTSA.
So, Colorado State being at home, like my thought process here is I think UTSA is a little bit better of the team. I do think that, although we don't have a ton of evidence against like any sort of common opponents or big opponents yet, but I do think UTSA is slightly better team. But Colorado State has got that elevation that UTSA is not used to. We're high up in the mountains there. They're at 6,000 feet. I think that's going to play a factor. They're at home. I do think they have been drawing good crowds at home for the last 2 years. Colorado State has, 35,000 plus. I think they'll have a good crowd. So I think when I'm getting 4.5 points, felt pretty good. If it had been under 3, I probably wouldn't have taken it, but over 3 I like.
I've got nothing on this one. I thought the number was just right.